There was a time when people didn't see Spider-Man as Spider-Man anymore. They saw him as Iron Man Jr., a kid in a high-tech suit, cracking jokes, fighting Avengers-level battles before he even graduated high school. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Because today, the MCU's Spider-Man isn't a kid playing superhero anymore. He's finally Spider-Man. And the cost of getting there was everything. When Spider-Man was introduced in Captain America: Civil War, it felt perfect, young, nervous, awkward. This was Peter Parker before the responsibility fully hit. But the moment that really defined this version of Spider-Man wasn't his powers, it was Tony Stark. Tony didn't just recruit Peter, he redefined him. He gave him the suit, the tech, the upgrades, even the confidence. And suddenly, Spider-Man wasn't the underdog anymore. He was backed by a billionaire genius. In Homecoming, Peter isn't struggling to survive. He's trying to prove himself worthy of Tony. In Infinity War and Endgame, he's fighting aliens in space, not worrying about rent, not worrying about school. Even in Far From Home, the story isn't really about Peter becoming his own hero. It's about him living up to Tony Stark's legacy. That's where the criticism came from, because Spider-Man was never meant to be the next Iron Man. He was supposed to be the opposite. Classic Spider-Man stories are simple, but brutal. Peter Parker is always struggling. Financial problems, relationship problems, academic pressure, and the worst part, he can't fix any of it, because being Spider-Man makes everything harder. That's the core of the character. Not just with great power comes great responsibility, but the idea that doing the right thing will cost you everything. And for the longest time, the MCU avoided that. Peter always had a safety net, until it was taken away. Spider-Man: No Way Home didn't just change Peter Parker's life, it reset it. Losing Aunt May wasn't just emotional, it was necessary. Because for the first time in the MCU, Peter hears the words, "With great power comes great responsibility." And this time, it actually means something. No mentors, no billionaire support, no advanced tech to fall back on. And then came the final blow. Everyone forgot who Peter Parker is. Not just the world, but the people he loves the most. MJ, Ned, Happy, everyone gone. In one decision, Peter chooses responsibility over his own happiness. That's Spider-Man. By the end of No Way Home, everything is stripped away. No Stark tech, no Avengers, no safety net. Just a small apartment, a sewing machine, and a handmade suit. For the first time in the MCU, Peter Parker has to worry about rent, about loneliness, about balancing school and survival. This is the Spider-Man fans were waiting for. Not the one who fights alongside gods, but the one who struggles just to get through the day. Because Spider-Man isn't defined by how powerful he is. He's defined by what he's willing to lose and still choosing to do the right thing. The MCU didn't get Spider-Man wrong. It just took its time. What looked like a lighter, more comedic version of the character was actually the origin story, a long one. Because this was never about Peter starting as Spider-Man. It was about him becoming Spider-Man. And now, for the first time, he truly is. But here's the thing, that ending in No Way Home, that wasn't the conclusion. It was the beginning of something much harsher. Because if the trailer for Spider-Man: Brand New Day tells us anything, it's that Peter didn't just lose everything. He's living with it. 4 years later, no one still knows who Peter Parker is. MJ has moved on. Ned has moved on. And Peter, he's completely alone. Not just emotionally, but physically, socially, existentially. This is the first time we're seeing an MCU Spider-Man who doesn't belong anywhere. No Avengers, no friends, no life outside the mask, just Spider-Man. And the trailer doubles down on that struggle. Peter is dealing with new threats like Scorpion and Han stepping into his world, not world-ending aliens, not multiverse chaos. Street level, personal, brutal. Exactly the kind of problems Spider-Man was always meant to face. But the most important detail, Peter himself is changing. The trailer hints at his powers evolving, becoming more unstable, more unpredictable. Almost like the more he isolates himself as Spider-Man, the more he's losing Peter Parker. And that's what makes this so powerful. Because this isn't a story about a kid trying to be a hero anymore. This is a story about a hero trying to hold on to being human. The MCU didn't just give us Spider-Man, it gave us the cost of being Spider-Man. And now, with Brand New Day, we're finally stepping into the version of Peter Parker we've been waiting for all along. Alone, struggling, and still choosing to do the right thing, no matter what it takes. That's it for today, guys. Like and subscribe if you the video. Bye-bye.